For the next week, this tiny church high in the Swiss Alps is set to become the centre of world politics. Why? Because Donald J. Trump is coming to Davos again and has decided this will be home away from home. They're calling it, as you can see, USA House. The banners celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. But the 47th president seems at times to reject the principles on which the United States was founded, of accountability to the people, of international law. At the World Economic Forum here in Davos, President Trump will come face to face with many of the heads of state who thought they were America's allies, but now feel they're being treated like the enemy. Alongside the US president, there are nearly 65 heads of state expected, including France's Emmanuel Macron, Germany's Friedrich Merz, Canada's Mark Carney, and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky. It's going to be interesting. Nearly 850 chief executives are on their way here too, in order to discuss how to tackle the world's most pressing challenges. There will be delegations from Apple, from Meta, from Google, Nvidia, all the major global banks like JP Morgan and the oil and gas companies, including BP and Shell. But top of the bill and centre stage is Donald J. Trump, who introduces himself in his biography and describes himself as a champion of economic growth through tax cuts and deregulation, and what he calls the reinvigoration of communities affected by globalization.
Tariffs, my favorite word, tariffs, which for many decades have been used successfully by other countries against us. And that's why they're coming home to the USA in record numbers. There has never, frankly, been anything like it.
The World Economic Forum was founded on the belief that when countries, companies and people become more connected, wealth and opportunity is created. Trump, by contrast, is an economic nationalist. He believes in America first and argues that globalization has taken jobs, wealth and power away from the United States. He is on a mission to get all of those things back. Trump dislikes what Davos stands for, but he knows the event offers a huge global stage. He's here to challenge the agenda, not to endorse it, and to sell America as a place to do business. Donald Trump has been to Davos before. In 2018, he swept up these stairs with his entourage. I was standing on the balcony just over there when a room full of business leaders and heads of state rushed forward to capture the moment on their mobile phones.
Are you going to be received well?
I already am. Look, you take a look.
They were fascinated by the man himself. Trump is bold, provocative and wildly unpredictable. But as now, it's the office of president that was the real draw. The United States is the largest economy in the world. It's home to some of the biggest tech firms. America spends more on defense than any other country, and the dollar dominates global finance. The US has extraordinary power, and in his second term, Trump has shown a willingness to use it to force open markets for American companies, to secure access to resources like oil and precious minerals, to apply pressure to world leaders, and in the case of Venezuela, to remove them altogether. Never before has a US president come to this mountain resort with so much at stake. It's almost impossible for anyone here to predict what's going to be top of the agenda. That will depend, as so often, on what Donald J. Trump says and does. In the last few days, the president has provoked outrage again with his aggressive use of tariffs. Trump is threatening to raise taxes on imports for 8 of his notional NATO allies, including the United Kingdom, for opposing his ambition to take Greenland.
I'd love to make a deal with them. It's easier. But one way or the other, we're going to have Greenland.
How should allies respond? No one wants to jeopardise trade with the United States, and everyone recognises that Europe does depend heavily on American military power, not least in Ukraine. So far, the strategy has been to placate Trump, to appease him and to flatter, and yet Trump continues to behave as if he can tear up the rules and impose his will on countries without consequence. This is Trump's first in-person visit to Davos in 6 years, and he's bringing a large delegation of senior government leaders and advisors. Among those in the group are Marco Rubio, America's senior diplomat, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, Howard Lutnick, responsible for trade and economic policy, and Steve Witkoff, serving as a special envoy for peace missions. Now, the World Economic Forum has had a pretty difficult 18 months following whistleblower allegations that led to the resignation of its founder. Securing Trump's appearance is widely seen as being a major coup. Organisers have denied a report in the Financial Times that Trump sought and was given assurances that topics he considers to be woke, such as female empowerment, diversity, climate change, and international development finance, would not feature prominently on the agenda. President Trump's main address is on Wednesday lunchtime. Last year, he delivered a virtual speech after his inauguration as president, in which he attacked the Paris Climate Agreement, promised to unlock the liquid gold of fossil fuels, and warned businesses to make more of their products in the United States or face tariffs.
Withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord and ended the insane and costly electric vehicle mandate. The liquid gold under our feet and paved the way for rapid approvals of new energy infrastructure. If you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff, differing amounts, but a tariff which will direct hundreds of billions of dollars and even trillions of dollars into our treasury.
That speech offered an early insight into what was to come.